you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope.
Hello and welcome in here live from Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri for the final AFC Columbia home match of the season, where they will welcome their in-state rivals, the St. Louis Stars from St. Louis, Missouri, just about 2 hours east of here. Should be a fun one. I am Julian Munoz, joined alongside my partner, Logan Parsons. Logan, what do you think about this game?
Well, it's extremely hot outside. It's sitting at about 93 degrees, a little windy, but these players might get gassed in a hurry, as it is one of the hottest days of the year here so far in Columbia. We are getting ready to start this one off as both teams walk out to center field.
Let me tell you, AFC Columbia must be burning in their jerseys. Their dark navies looking like black jerseys right now with how the sun is playing out. It is a beautiful day for some evening soccer, and it is so hot that the Missouri Reign 2 game that was supposed to be slated for 2 p.m. today got postponed till tomorrow due to extreme heat. So we will go ahead and take a break for the national anthem. When we get back, you'll have kickoff and the starting lineups.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
Another beautiful rendition of our colors presented by Columbia College. We are just about set for kickoff, and right before kickoff, I'm going to go ahead and update y'all on the standings for this Gateway Conference. AFC Columbia, both teams play in the South Division. Club Atletico St. Louis has 12 points with a +3 goal differential. They are pretty much set to play in the conference championship, barring some upsets. Etar Belleville is looking to make that upset as they just defeated St. Louis Developmental Academy yesterday by a score of 2-1. Now on 10 points with a +4 goal differential. Bob St. Louis takes third. St. Louis Stars, the opponent for AFC Columbia, in fourth place. St. Louis Developmental Academy in fifth, and in dead last, unfortunately, the home side AFC Columbia. Now, if we look at the North Division, Lenoma is in first place, followed by Sesa, AFC Omaha, Pearl City Soccer Club, and Cedar Rapids Inferno. So we should have a pretty tight end of the season. Of course, there's a couple games left for every club. So it should be a very, very, very interesting end to the season, as, I mean, anyone can beat anyone on any given day.
And I mean, Columbia has shown that no matter what game it is, no matter who they're playing, they've come out of the gate hot, and they've played every single team down to the wire. I mean, last game, Julian, a couple days ago, they played pretty exceptionally well. They actually held possession for more time than their opponent, but a lot of these games, they're just not able to get goals where they need to. So looking for that today against the Stars, getting off to a hot start early. And another change for Chris Miller and this Columbia team, Samuel Appia is not going to be in the starting lineup, and it is going to be Lake Gott So a change in the midfield.
And with that change, I'll go ahead and bring you the lineups for the home side AFC Columbia. In goal, Toby Hughes. The 4 defenders for Coach Chris Miller: Travis Smith, Akimi Gaza Miller, Anthony Lint, and Reese Gilmore. A diamond midfield for Coach Chris Miller: Paul Morpurgo with Miguel Gonzalez, and also the aforementioned Lake Gott, and rounding off the midfield, Carter Redford. And starting up top for the Blues, Luke Hines pairs along with Nadim Saralia, who has had a pretty successful season. Although he has not been scoring as many goals as he would like, he's been playing pretty well. We are set for kickoff here. St. Louis Stars in red, traveling from right to left, and AFC Columbia in their home navy blues, traveling from left to right. Logan, if you can go ahead and read the starting lineup for the St. Louis Stars.
In goal for St. Louis, Mick Macklin, and the defense is going to be a back 3 for the Stars. It's going to be Brendan Owen, Schrader Ludwig, Ryan Levery. And then in the midfield is going to be a 5-stack with Blake Hall, Landon Keener, Carson Nolan, Ben Fish, and Pablo Juan. And up at the top for the Stars is going to be Kiba Romani and Fola Aiden. That's going to round it off for the Stars as they get off to some possession to start this game off. Another change for Columbia. It won't be Jacob Moore at the top. It'll be Luke Hines, who we haven't seen much of this year, Julian.
Yes, we have not seen much of Luke Hines late on in the season. This ball is going to be played all the way back to Hughes, the ever so reliable backstop for the Blues. Over to the right side with Gilmore, who is wearing the captain's armband in replacement of Jacob Moore. Here is Gott on the right, options behind him. Finds Gilmore. Gilmore with plenty of options behind him. Good pressure up at the top by Adion. Here's Romani. Romani into Juan. Juan looking for Adion, but a nice job by Smith. Cleared away. Lake Gott trying to keep it in play, but it will go out of bounds. Throw in taken quickly. St. Louis, one of those teams that likes to play quickly, likes to play long balls. Had a little studied before this game. And we are going to see a lot of long balls in from this St. Louis Stars team. And long balls have been an issue to deal with at the back for AFC Columbia.
Yeah, but it won't be an issue for Gaza Miller. We have talked about him on countless occasions, Julian, throughout this season. And he's really that sweeping center back along with Travis Smith back there. Travis Smith is that center back that you can rely on any defensive set piece, but Gaza Miller always there for any long ball, and we'll probably see that a lot today.
Ball played over to Blake Hall, but intercepted by Gott. Nice play there by the new starter for Coach Chris Miller. Throw in, still in play, ends up just going out of play as Hines was not able to keep that in. Hines more of a true striker for Chris Miller, with Saralia playing sort of just behind him as a false 9 or a true 10, as some would say. You're going to see him drift back a lot. Sometimes Columbia might even be playing with 5 midfielders with how much he drifts back. Juan passes it back over on the right side with Ludwig. Into the middle now. Juan still in possession. Back to Ludwig. Over to Owen on the left. With space, pressured by Gott, forcing a turnover. Nice pressure by Lake Gott. Gonzalez on it, looking for a play into the middle for Saralia. Long ball, trying to find a wide open Morpurgo. Morpurgo's there with plenty of space. Hines is in the box, but the ball is just going to trickle out of bounds. Morpurgo not able to chase down a pretty faulty first touch. 4 minutes in, we've had some offensive chances, none in the box for either side. McLaughlin lines up with Owen.
Yeah, already having to get some water back there is Ludwig. So we already see that heat taking effect 4 minutes in. The goalkeepers both have water bottles next to their respective boxes because of, obviously, as I mentioned, that 93-degree heat. So
Ball intercepted. Hines. Opportunity for the Blues early on. Saralia, one-on-one, pass across. The shot is saved. What a save off the goal line by Brandon Owen and Schrader Ludwig. They were on the line. An early chance for the Blues gets cut out by some stellar defense.
And Saralia had the exact right idea there. He saw Lake Gott running in from the right side and immediately turned his head and passed it to him. It was a really good shot from Gott as well. Obviously not in the direction of the goalkeeper, but a great defensive stand over there by Ludwig to cut that one away.
Morpurgo has it in the box, guarded by 2. Back out to Redford. Redford trying to whip a ball in for Gonzalez. Cut out, and the Can St. Louis counter here. Juan plays it out on the right for Ben Fish. Gets intercepted and gets cut back all the way to Smith. Over to the captain, Gilmore. Looking to play with Gott on this right side. Gets it over to Hines. Hines running into the box now, down the line. Gets cut out, and it will be a corner. Good offense for the Blues early on. First corner of the match here, just before 6 minutes.
Yeah, Luke Hines already going off on a hot start here. He's created 2 chances in the first 5 minutes for the Blues. That first one going into Saralia, that through ball, a nice through ball that he had that almost created that goal just now. And he almost got a cross into the box there after the pass from Lake Gott. So already some of the new faces on this starting lineup for Chris Miller doing their job. And
we have not seen Luke Hines all season here at home. It's the first time we've seen him. It will be Mickey Gonzalez taking the corner. The left-footed winger / midfielder for the Blues. He'll whip in this in-swinging ball. Corner will actually be played all the way back. Here's a shot attempt. That's a good one off the crossbar. What a shot from Carter Redford, and a very unlucky start for the Blues.
Carter Redford, who we have not seen a lot of all season, shot that one from about 30 yards out. A beamer hit the goal crossbar. And it was very fortunate for McLaughlin that he didn't have to deal with that one because it was a screamer, Julian.
That was ripped off of his right foot. Carter Redford, another addition to the lineup that we haven't seen much. St. Louis now attacking down the right side. Has options in the middle. Good defense there by the Blues to get back and counter the counter. Ball played with 1. Flicks it over to Hall on the right. Or excuse me, that's Nolan. Carson Nolan still on the ball. Ball into the middle. It's a good ball to a wide open Landon Keener. But Toby Hughes is there to claim for the Blues. Gaza Miller on the ball now. Playing with space in front of him. Finds Sorali in the middle. Resetting with Smith over to Gilmore on the right. The Blues have had a good amount of success here on the right side early on in this one. Between Gilmore and Gott and Gonzalez, who gets onto it. Onside is Miguel Gonzalez, but a nice piece of defending there by Brendan Owen. Cleared away. Very nice clearance there by McLaughlin. Played over to Morpurgo on the left. Nice bit of defending there, but Morpurgo just more physical. No foul. It was a pretty even play there. Swung over to Gott on the right with plenty of space and options in the box. Gott taking it on. A couple skill moves. A nice flick back. Could have been a foul. No call from the referee. Juan will play it out wide left. To Romani. Romani in for Keener. Keener one-on-one with Gaza Miller with options. Plays it back, and Gaza Miller is there to intercept and clear it away. Stellar defending there from Gaza Miller, as we've seen all season.
Yeah, that time it was Gaza Miller, not Travis Smith, who got his head on that one. We see Travis Smith, the tall Travis Smith, get his head on a lot of long balls, but he was able to cut that one away and now played back to the defense for Columbia as they reset out to Gilmore.
Gilmore into Gonzalez, back to Smith. Smith pressured. by Adion, sorry. Gilmore controls it. Looking to play it back to Hughes. As the pressure from the St. Louis side is forcing Columbia to switch play a lot. But Columbia has definitely had the better attacks, I would say. Ball played into Saralia, onside. Nice piece of defending and definitely a foul there on Saralia. But it looked like Schrader Ludwig was the one to intercept.
Yeah, and I've seen Ludwig go down on a couple different occasions. I don't know if he's a little gassed already or if there's something going on with his hand, but
none of us have an 8. Foul for St. Louis. Playing out of the back over to Keener. Keener in to Adion. Adion one-on-one with Smith, but he is barely offside. Another good job of defending there by the Blues, although St. Louis was able to break the line and force an offside call. However, the Blues were back to defend, and it seems like the Blues have been responding to a couple of these attacks really well. Gilmore takes a long free kick, trying to find Morpurgo. Morpurgo is onside. Morpurgo in the box now, down by the byline, looking for options in the box. He's going to get cut out by the St. Louis defender for a throw-in. Taken quickly. Finding Hines. A nice shot from Hines, but it's saved by McLaughlin.
yeah, we're already seeing some of the heat wearing on some of these players. We will have some water breaks because of the extreme heat. So we will have a stoppage about midway through the first half and midway through the second half.
Must say I'm pretty used to these water breaks being a Houston native, especially every time I go see the Houston Dynamo, which has not been that often recently. But back in the day, whenever they were good, I was able to attend a lot of games, a lot of water breaks early, especially like once you get to the 20th minute. This ball played over for Hines was a dangerous ball, but it will get collected by McLaughlin.
Yeah, Travis Smith got some pressure at the top there by Romani, and then it just had to boot it up the field.
Ball played in to Adion. A nice flick over, but Gaza Miller is there to claim it. What a play by Gaza Miller. Seems like he lost the one-on-one with Adion. Excuse me, that was Adion receiving that ball.
Yeah, he lost the race up the field, but he was goal side to the ball, so he was able to get to the ball before Adion was able to. And he stole it away like I mentioned before. He's just able, that comeback speed, that turn speed from looking to the ball to getting the ball is really fast for him, as that one's going to be played out the leg Gott.
Gott in the corner, one-on-one, gets past one, passes it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez with options behind. The captain Gilmore plays it back to Miguel Gonzalez. Good ball whipped in. A nice touch from Saralia, still in the box. Dangerous opportunity here for the Blues. Gets cleared away in the end, all the way back to Gilmore. Switching play. Now, here is Morpurgo, but a faulty first touch allows the ball to trickle out of bounds for a St. Louis Stars goal kick.
Yeah, and this is what we've been seeing all season from the Blues. They've had so many chances early in the box, but they just aren't able to put it in the back of the net. As I said before, they've had basically every game dominated through possession. It's just scoring the ball that's been the problem, but seems like any minute now they could score, as they have had 3 or 4 opportunities in the last 10 minutes, Julian.
Ball played with Pablo 1. Over with Nolan now. Back into Lavery. Juan in the middle with plenty of space. He attacks the space. Finds Blake Hall now into the middle. Shots is deflected by Gaza Miller. A nice attack by St. Louis. It's going to be their first corner. A very nice ball into the box by Blake Hall. Finding a wide open Romani, who almost finished it. for the Stars.
Yeah, Anthony Lent immediately got beat, but Gaza Miller, just as the other ball got played in, he cut out that one, and then he just cut out this one. And he's been a part of 2 different stops for Chris Miller and the Blues.
Corner for the Stars. Looks like it's going to get taken by Blake Hall. It's going to be an outswinger. Here is the corner. Good corner taken at the front post. Cleared away. Can the Blues counter? A good touch by Hines. It's a one-on-one. Hines will win it and retain possession for the Blues. Can he work past the defender? He can. What a nice move by Hines. Hines now into the box. Open is Saralia. The shot right at the keeper, McLaughlin, and he will claim it. Hines had a wide open Saralia, but chose to take it on himself.
Yeah, Brendan Owen was very lackadaisical getting to back to that ball for the Stars. I don't really know if he was tired or just didn't think that Hines could get to it, but he ran after that one, ended up getting the ball, not letting it go out of bounds, and then able to get it all the way up the field for a shot against McLaughlin. Very surprised that the Stars allowed that.
Not the best defending there from St. Louis, but they were able to get away with it. Hines has been a really surprising and promising addition for Chris Miller. We have not seen much of him this season. Ball played over with Lavery. He switches it over to Ludwig. Ludwig looking for the run of Audion, but it's going to get cut out by Smith. St. Louis still in possession. Over with Nolan. And he will reset with Ludwig. Back to Lavery. He has Owen on his left, chooses to go to Juan up the middle. Juan being pressured. It does find Owen. Trying to play a ball in through. And Gaza Miller is able to clear it away. Ball still in the air, and St. Louis will come down with it. Nice flick there by Blake Hall. Completely mesmerizing Saralia. Into Juan now. Juan gets past Gonzalez looking for a run. He does find a wide open Keener, but Keener was not able to keep it in play.
Yeah, and I feel like substitutions are going to be very vital in this game. Already seeing a lot of tired faces as this one's going to be tracked down on the far side by Aiden, but a good pass away by Gaza Miller. But, I mean, substitutions in this one are just going to be very important due to all of the tired faces already on the field now in the 17th minute. I don't even know how we're going to get through 90, Julian.
This is going to be a tough one for the players on the field. Ball played into Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to find a wide open guy. He does. Ball played back to Gonzalez, and the referee is going to call a delayed foul as Gott did get trampled on that header.
Gott and Gonzalez got hit on that one.
Both of them. It will be a free kick for the Blues. Gonzalez and the referee having a talk. Free kick taken to Gilmore. He'll switch sides to Gaza Miller. Over to Lint. Lint gets past 2, trying to find Saralia. Ball gets cut out. A faulty cross in, or sorry, faulty pass back, should I say. St. Louis trying to work away from this pressure that the Blues are putting on them. And the Blues win it back with Saralia. Saralia trying to get past Hall. Nice piece of defending. Ball in to Gonzalez on his favorable left foot. Gonzalez lining up for a shot. The shot's just wide right. The keeper, McLaughlin, laid out but could not get a touch on it. The Blues are looking promising here just under 20 minutes into this one.
Yeah, you mentioned Gonzalez's left foot. We've seen that on multiple different occasions throughout this season, Julian. In their last game, Gonzalez had a really nice shot from outside of the box on a couple free kicks. As we see Dervizovic come into the game along with Lamidi and Parker Murphy. So a couple different changes at the top in the midfield. All 3 levels, actually, is going to be changes for Chris Miller. Lamidi's going to go out, and he's going to replace Lint.
Lint, Hines, and also Gott stepping off for the Blues. Bit of confusion on that goal kick. Parker Murphy coming in to play that attacker position. Dervizovic also coming in, looking to replace Gott in the midfield. And also Lamidi replacing Lintz in the back line. Here's Adion with numbers. Adion switches it over to a wide open Keener. Keener looking to come inside on his favorable left foot, finds Adion again. Back to Juan. Juan with run here from Adion, but Gazamiller is there to cut it away.
Number 11, Ilan Dervizovic, and number 2, Mohamed Lamidi.
Ball played into Saralia, over to Murphy. A nice pass there from Saralia, trying to get it back into the feet of the striker for the Blues was Murphy, but it gets cut out. St. Louis will reset. Over on the left with Owen. Owen flicks it over to Ben Fish. Fish into Keener. Keener getting past Dervizovic, trying to find a ball into Adion, but I do think the striker was offside, but it does get handled by Hughes anyway.
And yeah, the Stars haven't really had any chances inside the lower third of Columbia's defense. They've done a really nice job of cutting everything out. Julian, you mentioned earlier in the game how they really like to play over the top. They've tried to play possession through the middle, but just unsuccessful, and resulted in a lot of playing over the top, as we mentioned pregame. But this is going to be slided from Morpurgo all the way to Gilmore on the far side.
Was not the best pass from Morpurgo, but it does find Gilmore. Gilmore with options, looking to play a long ball in to Murphy, but Murphy and him were not on the same connection. Plays it back to Redford. Redford to Dervizovic. They will reset with Gazamiller. Options on his left, looking to go right into Saralia. Saralia has Murphy wide open, but a nice tackle, and Juan will retain for the Stars. Over to Keener. Keener finding the overlapping run from Blake Hall. Hall with speed, but cannot get past without it keeping in bounds. Sorry, that was Ben Fish, should I say, instead of Blake Hall. Redford looking for a ball in. Gets cut out by Ludwig. And a foul on Parker Murphy will allow St. Louis to reset on this free kick.
Yeah, and a couple times this game, we've talked about long balls, but a couple good long balls played over from this right side, switching fields over to the left for the likes of Morpurgo. And earlier in the game, it was over there to Gonzalez, but a lot of good balls played from opposite sides of the field, kind of switching the field and over to a place where there isn't as much pressure.
Brandon Owen looking for a long ball into Adion. Adion is onside, or sorry, that's actually going to be Blake Hall instead of Adion, but a faulty first touch allows the Blues to retain. Nice ball there from Hughes to Morpurgo, back to Lamidi. Lamidi back to Morpurgo. Nice 1-2 play. Lamidi recovers, and that surely should be a foul. It is. Lamidi gets tripped up.
Yeah, and that was a really smart play on that far side for Carson Nolan, kind of stopping the counterattack. There wasn't too many players in the defense for the Stars, so he got it situated for them and reset.
Gilmore in to Saralia, guarded by Juan. Back to Lamidi with space. Into the middle for Murphy. Back to Dervizovic. Over to Lamidi. Lamidi tries a shot, but it's right at Mick McLaughlin, who will make the easy save.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to get his laces on that one, but he ended up getting the side of his foot and wasn't able to lift the ball up off the ground, so it was a pretty easy save for McLaughlin there.
And with Ludwig, actually that's Lavery, should I say, excuse me. Now it's with Ludwig. Looking for options ahead of him. Nice job by the Blues to cut away any passing lanes. Here's Hall. Hall into Adion. Nice piece of defending. Can the Blues counter here? It's Saralia trying to find the run of Murphy. And the ball's going to get head back to the keeper by Lavery. St. Louis controlling here in the 24th minute. Still have not had a stop for a water break.
should be probably coming in the next
couple of
3 to 4 minutes as we reach the mid part of this first half. I was going to be tracked down by Lamidi. A long ball played on that far side, but he'll control it.
Not the best long ball there by Ludwig, trying to find a streaking Carson Nolan. Morpurgo back to Lamidi. Miller will control and flick it over to Smith. Smith with plenty of space in front of him, as St. Louis is sort of dropping back right now. Not the best ball over to Gonzalez, but he does end up passing it to Gilmore before the pressure gets to him. Smith. 1-2 play. Dervizovic back to Redford, over to Smith. Nice triangle offense here. Ball trying to find Morpurgo. It gets over everybody. Can Morpurgo track it down? He can. Morpurgo will just not be able to get to it down that byline as it gets out of bounds.
Goal kick Stars. Sponsored by
And Julian, you just talked about the triangle pass there from Smith, Gilmore, and Redford in the middle, but I mean, they've been doing that all over the field. They were doing it in the final third, in the back, and in the middle of the field. So they've just been doing it everywhere and really controlling and dominating possession here as they have all season. I'm just waiting for one of those combining passes to go into the box and score for them, as they have put most of the pressure on this game.
Nice defense there by Gonzalez to retain. Flicked over, and a 1-2 attempt there from Redford was a smart 1-2 play. And here is that water break in the 26th minute.
Game will stop.
Yeah, both of these sides slowly trotting off the field. Not even trotting, basically walking, because of the amount of heat that I mentioned before, sitting at around 93 to 95 degrees today, and there is absolutely no trees around this field to hide under. So it will be a lot of heat exhaustion as we enter the latter part of this game, Julian.
Yes, the game before this one, the Missouri Reign 2 game, was postponed to tomorrow night due to the extreme heat. That game will take place at Capital City High School in Jefferson City, just about 30 minutes south of here. And as we have reached this water break, Logan, what are your thoughts on how this first quarter of the game has played?
I mean, it's a lot of the same for Columbia. I mean, I've mentioned a couple times now, but the amount of possession that they're seeing is pretty normal for them. They usually control possession. Other than that Attar Belleville game, they've done a really nice job of combining in passes and controlling the ball, especially in the other side of the field. And they've done a good job dealing with the long ball, which we've also seen a lot this season. And Gilmore getting a lot back to balls, and Gaza Miller doing the same. But I just want to see a little bit more pressure on that back line. I know it's hard because it's so hot outside, but some more pressure on that back line that seems to be a little tired for the Stars might result in an opportunity for a goal. They've had a couple so far. And then for the Stars, I mean, I'd like to see them have a little bit more possession. I'd like to see them, instead of going over the top 100% of the time, maybe combine some balls in and then get a through ball maybe to the likes of some of your attackers in Adion and Romani. So maybe changes for both sides, but right now I say that in the better position is the Blues because of the control they seem to have over this one. They just have to put a goal up on the score sheet to make it count.
Yeah, Columbia has been dominating in the offensive third. Unfortunately, not been able to put one past the net. We saw one get cleared off the goal line and another one go off the crossbar, and a couple of shots get saved by McLaughlin.
Yeah, and
we saw Hines had a one-on-one, really a two-on-one, as Saralia was wide open for the cutback, but he chose to take it himself.
And the new replacements on the starting lineup have really been the ones creating the chances. We talked about Luke Hines before he went off the field earlier in the first half, but a lot of the new faces doing their work as Chris Miller would want them to, and really have been the ones creating the chances. Lake Gott, who came in for Appia, along with Luke Hines, combining for a few passes in that lower third that created a chance early.
Ball played into Hayden Fisher, replacing Juan, or sorry, not replacing Juan, replacing Ben Fish in the midfield. Or should I say Carson Nolan in the midfield, excuse me. AFC Columbia in possession with Gaza Miller trying to find Morpurgo. Nice job by Morpurgo to retain possession after the sliding. Juan got a tip on it. Dervizovic cuts inside. Pressured by Juan. Gaza Miller on it. Substitution up top as well for St. Louis as Nathan Ferguson comes in for Fola Adion. Ball in possession for the Blues. Parker Murphy on it, looking to get back onto his right foot, but I believe he was in an offside position. And he was indeed. Ball over with Hall. Hall finds Fish. Fish looking for options, plays it over to Ferguson. Good ball to Ferguson, but he is offside. Blues catch a break there as Ferguson would have had a shot on goal. Shot did go high and wide, but nonetheless, he was offside.
Yeah, it did get deflected by Travis Smith ultimately, but Ferguson was actually pretty lucky there not to receive a card. He did shoot that one a bit after the whistle, and we've seen cards given for that earlier in the season, so good for him that he didn't get that one, as Appia, who late got replaced in that starting lineup to start the game. Appia is back into this one, and he's going to be playing that left wing position that we've seen him play a lot this year. He's been a really good energizer bunny when they haven't had anything going at the top. They have had stuff going today, but it's just not been effective, as it's actually going to be played up to Appia, but controlled by McLaughlin.
Yes, Parker Murphy with a nice ball into Appia, as Appia has taken that striker position from Soralia. Or not Soralia, should I say, excuse me. Soralia looks like he's dropping a little bit more back into that midfield, as we mentioned earlier. Good ball in, but Gilmore with a nice header to retain possession. Back to Hughes now, pressured by Juan. Nice ball over to Dervizovic, who's wide open with plenty of space. The Blues can be dangerous here. Dervizovic cuts it back, plays it to Redford. Redford, with options on his right, finds Gilmore. Gilmore with space down that right flank. Back to Dervizovic. Dervizovic switches it to Lamidi. Lamidi crossing opportunity here for the Blues. Going down that left wing. He will go down the left wing, cross into the box. It's a good one, but over the head of a streaking Redford, as he will not be able to get on the end of that Lamidi cross.
And it will be Caden Radalifa that'll come into the game in the midfield for this Stars team.
Caden Radalifa, also number 20, Nathan Ferguson.
So Ferguson, who came in just a moment ago, already making his impact at the top. We'll see if Radalifa will do the same, as we'll probably see a lot more substitutions coming in at the latter part of this first half because of the extreme heat that we are facing here today in Columbia. It'll be Ludwig on it now, over to Juan and out to the right for Owen.
St. Louis in possession, good ball over, mistake there from Miller, but a nice back heel to clear it away. The ever so creative Gaza Miller. Nice ball for St. Louis, but an errant pass there from Hall. A clearance of some sort won by Miller and played back to Hughes. Over with Gilmore. Gilmore, ball trying to find streaking Soralia. Had him open. Gilmore retains. Ball played down the line for the newcomer, Ian Vizcarra-Mendez. Mendez looking for Appia in the box, but the ball played too far for Appia, and it's going to get met by McLaughlin.
Yeah, Vizcarra-Mendez actually had a lot of room on that near side to play with, but he elected to go inside, looking to the middle. I thought he could have ran with that one a little further, but he tried to cross it in, and it was eventually swept up by McLaughlin.
St. Louis in possession. Over on the left side with Fish. Fish with Gilmore on him. Some space for Fish to travel. Fish cuts back, cross into the box, to wide open. Looking for a shot, and a nice piece of defending there by Lamidi to cut out the shot attempt. And Appia will clear it away. I would assume no. Very smart play, but it's going to be a throw-in for St. Louis as it last touched off of Sammy Appia. Throw in over the head of Ferguson. Gets cleared away for the Blues. Probably the most dangerous possession we've seen for St. Louis all game. Still on the ball. Here's Hall. Hall, shot attempt is wide right. And it will be a goal kick for Columbia.
Yeah, that was actually the Stars' first true shot at the goal there. Looked like Ferguson, the big Ferguson up at the top that's playing the 9 position for the Stars team. He did have a chance at it, but he spun around and faced Lamidi. And Lamidi was able to tap it away out to Appia, and the rest was history. But another good stop by Columbia, and the first real chance for the Stars there in this 35th minute.
Been a good game. Yassine Matnane, should I say, sorry.
Our sub sponsored by 9-8.
Haven't seen him at home this season as well. A lot of newcomers for Coach Chris Miller in this last home game for the Blues.
And they've really been the difference maker so far, Julian.
Gilmore, ball played over to Viscar Mendez. Viscar Mendez wins it. Over to Murphy. Murphy, shooting opportunity. One-on-one with the keeper. Can he shoot it? Murphy, a nice tip by the defender to clear it away. Back to Gilmore now for the Blues. Murphy was one-on-one with the keeper and could not get the shot off.
Yeah,
over to Redford.
I thought he should have shot that one immediately, but he didn't.
Cross in is going to go over the head of everyone and over the head of everything, should I say, for a goal kick.
But he did have that original room, but he just took one too many touches and lost possession as Ludwig and Owen both collapsed on him. Very unfortunate there for Columbia. Really nice opportunity, and that's one of the times that Parker Murphy has got to be more aware of his surroundings, because he could have had a nice shot on a goal.
Any shot there, especially with how the keeper was playing, should have been a goal for the Blues. Ball played over with Lavery. Flicked over for Hall and cut out by Sorali. He was not having any of that. Goes out of bounds for a St. Louis throw. Throw in taken long to Hall. Hall controls it. Trying to get past a couple Columbia defenders. And the scrap in the middle gets won by Dervisevic, but his pass over to Appia gets cut out. Can St. Louis counter here? Ball played in to a wide open Redalifa, but Lamidi is there to play it. Nice play by Lamidi to recover possession for the Blues.
Yeah, and you talked about it a moment ago, but Soralia, who was playing that 9 position earlier, or that false 9, as you mentioned, is now coming back into play in the midfield. So he's really been effective up at the top, but he'll drop back on occasion and get to play some defense. He played some defense on the likes of Hall and stole it away. So everyone for Columbia pitching in on the defensive side of the ball.
Over with Redford after the header from St. Louis. Could not find another red shirt. Gilmore now with plenty of space. Chooses to pass it to Viscara Mendez. Back to Gilmore now. He will reset with Hughes. Chris Miller not that happy with his offense here. Gilmore back to Soralia, plays it back. Wide open is Murphy. It's a good ball over the top. Murphy is, or sorry, Dervisevic, should I say, was making the run in behind Murphy. But he was just offside past the last line of defense for the Stars. First time we've really seen Dervisevic take a run like that. He's more of a holding midfielder as Coach Chris Miller likes to play him there.
Yeah, it looks like Redford and Saralia have dropped back to that holding midfield role, so it will be Dervizovic kind of in that central position. And the likes of Matt Nain outside on the near side. So a couple changes to the midfield. As you normally mentioned, Dervizovic usually playing that holding role as Gilmore's going to kick that one away.
That was a nice ball in for Ben Fish, but Gilmore was there to stop it out. Nice ball in, trying to find Fish yet again, but Hughes is there to collect.
Yeah, Ferguson's been pretty dangerous. That new 9 for the Stars, that one was almost stolen away.
It is stolen away, as here is Radalifa, and that one's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick. Not the best cross in from Caden.
Sponsored by Ramtech.
And we do apologize if we do mess that last name up. Radalifa, I hope it is. Didn't get much clarification pre-match. Nice flick on from Murphy, completely dusting his defender. Cross into the box, wide open is Appia. The ball is overshot, but Appia is able to keep it in play. Appia into the middle, wide open was Dervizovic, but not the best pass in, allows the Stars to clear it away, as Radalifa will keep it in play. Over to Hall, now to Juan. Juan looking for a run on the left, looking back right, has a wide open Radalifa. He finds him with options in the box. Ball into the box. Looked like Ferguson was offside, and the flag does come up late. And the referee will bring it back for the offside call.
Yeah, I think some of these defensive players are kind of mad because of the heat outside. The referee did not call it, and they had to keep running after that one, expending a little too much energy as we enter the latter 5 minutes of this half. But
we're seeing that a lot in professional football with the VAR assistant referees now allowing the play to play out fully before going back to the monitor. It does take up a lot of energy instead of just bringing it back immediately. Ball played back to Gilmore now. Gilmore looking for options on this right side. Vizcarra Mendez flipping it to Appia. It's a very nice ball. Appia over the line of defense. Can he get past his defender? He cannot. A very nice piece of defending there by Keener coming back from his midfield position. Radalifa flicks it forward to Hall. Dangerous spot here for the Stars as Hall has options played into Ferguson. Overlapping is one. Ferguson will take it himself, and it's going to allow Columbia to get back into the fence. Nice throw in there from Hughes. Appia wide open on the left, looking for options. He'll try to play it to an overlapping Matt Nane, excuse me. Juan on the ball for the Stars. Ball played back to Lavery. Or, sorry, that's actually Owen, should I say.
yeah, and Juan has been that player for the Stars that's really been the facilitator, a player like that we see out of Saralia or Gonzalez. So he's going to be playing at that center defensive mid role, but he came up and you saw him try that overlapping run with Ferguson just a moment ago. He's been everywhere on the field for the Stars.
Gilmore on it, finding an overlapping run from Vizcarra Mendez, and he will play it out of bounds for a Stars throw-in, calls the head official. Gilmore able to cut out that throw in. Saralia being pressured, and he'll be able to escape it. Miller on the ball now for the Blues. Played into Redford in the middle. Plenty of space for him. Out wide for Saralia now. And the Blues have options here, attacking. Nice move by Saralia, finding a wide open Matt Nane, but the ball just overplayed slightly, allowing McLaughlin to come out and claim it. Stars looking for a counter here in the last moments of this first half. A minute to play plus stoppage time. Probably going to get about 2 minutes of stoppage time thanks to that water break at the 26th minute. 3 minutes of added time in this first half. We're going to see about the same, if not more, at the end of the second half. Ball played over to Vizcarra Mendez. Mendez with options, trying to find a wide open Murphy streaking, but it gets cut out. Gaza Miller on the ball now. Over to Appia. Appia has Dervizovic beside him. Appia trying to play it for Murphy, gets cut out by Radalifa, and he cannot keep it in play. Throw in for the Blues here in a dangerous spot over to Dervizovic. Trying to get past one defender, cut out by Radalifa, and here's Juan trying to start the counterattack. He'll cut it back, and they will reset. Over to Radalifa. Or sorry, it's Lavery over to Radalifa now. Radalifa trying to keep it in play. He cannot, just goes out of bounds. Did not have any attacking options with him, as this St. Louis attack seems to be exhausted. Everyone holding their knees whenever the ball is out of play. Dervizovic into Murphy, but a nice defensive play there by Ludwig. Ludwig making a move now. Ludwig in on the last part of the defense for the Blues. Cut away in the end by Murphy tracking back. Murphy able to retain possession for the Blues. Can AFC Columbia counter here? Vizcarra Mendez in the back to Murphy. Murphy with options in front of him. Has Appia wide open, trying to find him. Ball was played just a little bit late. Ball flicked on, and offside was Matt Nene.
Yeah, and Columbia really had a nice chance there. The center back, Ludwig, coming all the way up the field, still hasn't gotten back to the back line of defense for the Stars. He was resting on his back when that attack was going on, and I was just telling myself, if Vizcarra Mendez or Seralia was able to play that one over the top, that could have been a very dangerous opportunity for Columbia, with one of the Stars center backs still limping towards the back line in no hurry whatsoever. So obviously the heat exhaustion getting to some of these players in the latter half of this one is Gaza Miller.
That
with
was a funny flick back from Miller.
Funny flick back to Hughes.
Over with Gilmore now. Plenty of space and options. Not the best pass there from Redford. Oh, what a turn there by Gaza Miller to get past the pressure. And he is so comfortable on the ball, Logan. Over to Dervizovic, back to Appia. Appia down this line, down the left flank with options. Back to Appia, flicking into Dervizovic with options here in the box. Dervizovic gets past one. The shot goes high and wide. It'll be a goal kick. But a nice play on that left flank between Appia and Dervizovic. The Columbia Blues are looking dangerous here as this first half is just about to end. Should be the last kick of this first half as there's 30 seconds left.
Yeah, and Dervizovic and Appia have been a great connection, a great tandem over there on the far side. As this one's going to be taken back slowly by McLaughlin. I think he's just trying to
go
into the locker room.
This heat, especially with the St. Louis Stars goalkeeper kit being all black, it must be really annoying to play in some over 90-degree weather. Especially on a turf field, it must feel like over 100 down there. Nice ball from McLaughlin, and that will do it for this first half. A scoreless tie at halftime, but a very entertaining first half. Logan, what are your last thoughts on this first half?
I think all the changes at the top and in the midfield for Chris Miller were very successful. We saw at the top end of that first half, Luke Hines and Lake Gott doing their thing up at the top. They had a few chances with that pair, and then later in that first half with the change to put Appia in there and move Seralia kind of back, it opened up some more opportunities in the box. I'm just looking for them to actually score some goals. They've had a problem with that all season. We talked to Chris Miller a few games ago. He said the biggest problem that they've had is scoring. So they've obtained possession, and they've really done what they've done all season, but really not anything to the effect. Julian, what did you see?
I saw Carter Redford. Carter Redford was a menace on the field. He was definitely one of, if not the best AFC Columbia midfielder. Had that rocket of a shot that hit off the crossbar early on in the game. And if not for that, The Blues could easily have a couple goals, and it all starts with Carter Redford. When we get back, we'll have halftime stats and then second half kickoff. Thank you all for tuning in.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
Hello and welcome back live from Columbia College here in Columbia, Missouri for this Gateway Conference clash between the home side AFC Columbia and the visiting St. Louis Stars. We had a scoreless tie in the first half, but that does not right the ship. It was a very, very entertaining first half, especially for AFC Columbia. It seems like they were dominating the entire first half. Could have easily had 2 or 3 goals. However, unfortunately, a goal line clearance and the crossbar prevented them from hitting the back of the net. Logan, what are your thoughts on that first half, and how can both teams adjust to get 3 points in the second?
I mean, I think all the adjustments, I mentioned it before halftime, but all the adjustments that Chris Miller made throughout that half were just superb. I mean, to start the game off, you placed Carter Redford and Luke Hines in, who have not had a lot of time for Columbia so far. And then for them to just come in and play the way they did, Carter Redford playing the entirety of the first half and dominating the midfield, cutting everything out from the midfielders like Juan. Juan was barely able to get anything going in the midfield for the Stars because of the play of Redford. And then Hines, I mean, he had a couple chances in the box that he created, not shots, but through balls at least. And then the addition of Apia, and then at the end of the half, Madnani and Vizcarra Mendez, who also had pretty vital roles in getting some chances. So I'm just looking for them to break the ice here. I mean, I feel like the second half could be completely different than the first half. I think there will actually be a lot of scoring here in the second half because of that first half. Obviously, players getting adjusted to the heat. Might be a couple tired legs entering here in the second half, Julian.
Yes, the heat is definitely playing a factor. Me and Logan got to go down onto the field during halftime, and the first thing I said was, yeah, feels like over 100 down here. So nonetheless, all the players are going to be on tired legs.
Yeah, and I mean, their cleats have got to be burning the bottom of their cleats.
Absolutely.
I mean, especially when you're playing on turf. It's one thing to play on a grass field, but it's another thing when you have all of these black rubber pellets that just reflect the heat off of them onto the bottom of your cleats. I've had a couple cleats, actually, when I used to play soccer, rip and rupture the bottom of them because of the amount of heat on the ground on these turf fields. So a very, very hot day here in Columbia might result in a little more scoring, a little more lackadaisicalness on the back end for both of these sides. It'll be Columbia here to take the kick in the second half as Seralia stands over it. Obviously, the Stars played in possession in that first half. Here we go, Julian.
We are underway in the second half from Columbia, Missouri, from Columbia College, as the Blues retain possession with Redford into Seralia. Nice pass back to Redford, and the Blues were looking dangerous early, but an errant pass allows St. Louis to retain with Radalifa. Nice tackle there from Lamidi. Out to Morpurgo with options in the box. Morpurgo working on his defender. Good ball into the middle, but the keeper, McLaughlin, will be there to cut it away for the Stars.
And that deflection there by Keener was extremely dangerous. I mean, the spin on that ball, I don't know how McLaughlin was able to get a full grip on it because it was a right-handed spin that had it curving towards a bunch of Columbia players. Very fortunate for McLaughlin and this team for the Stars that's going to hit the hand of Juan in the midfield right in front of Redford.
I was going to say that was a good ball played into Juan, but not the best first touch from the midfielder as it bounced onto his hand. Columbia playing quickly here with Gilmore on the right. Back to Dervizovic, who had a pretty entertaining first half as soon as he came on. Gilmore looking to switch play over to Redford. Good ball into him with plenty of space. Over to Morpurgo. Back to Redford. Over to Lamidi now with plenty of space down this left flank. Working on the other number 2, Radalifo. Ball into the box. Over. Morpurgo had the chance to finish it, but a nice deflection allows the Stars to retain. Columbia looking ever so dangerous here to start the second half. Pressure from Morpurgo. He wins it. Ball into the middle. Seralia wide open. The shots. And what a save. Still in the air. Dervizovic the shots. Over. Cleared off the line. What a chance for the Blues, and they cannot capitalize.
3 separate chances in the box for Columbia. That shot by Dervizovic was right next to the goalkeeper, and McLaughlin was able to get a hand on that one, or else it would have been back post. But Morpurgo, excellent play on this left side as we see it once again.
Morpurgo working into the box, a shooting opportunity, the shot off the post, and back into the middle, and no one can finish it. The Blues, how have they not scored? How has AFC Columbia not scored? The counterattack from St. Louis, and they will finally clear it over all the way down to Toby Hughes. How have the AFC Columbia not scored here in the 47th minute?
And the initiator of it all is Paul Morpurgo. 3 separate occasions already, he's ripped the ball off of the feet of Brendan Owen and just had chances inside of the box. 1 cross coming in and 2 shots, 2 separate shots hitting the post, a couple redeflections in there. I'm surprised anybody on this Stars defense was able to get a control on that one after the amount of chances that were just occurred in the box. But that's going to go over the head of Morpurgo and out to Adieta, but so many chances, Julian.
How have the Blues not put the ball in the back of the net in this game? Nobody knows. But here comes St. Louis down the left flank with Hall. Hall cutting back now, back to Juan. Into the middle for Adion. Nice defending there from Hines as he's back into the mix. Good shots, threatening the keeper, Toby Hughes, but it's over everything, and I'll go out for a corner. Miller on the ball after the quick goal kick. Over to Smith. I still don't know how this game is tied. Turnover for Columbia. allows St. Louis to have a good shot from Adian, but it's over the head of everyone and over everything,
Goal kick, Columbia.
should I say, and it'll be a goal kick for the Blues. Toby Hughes takes it quickly here with Gaza Miller. Miller with options to look for, has Sorali in the middle, looking for Morpurgo. Nice ball to Morpurgo. Not the best first touch. Allows St. Louis to retain with Adian, and that surely is going to be a foul on Gaza Miller as he got a little bit too physical and wrapped up the dangerous attacker. Good ball into the middle for Hall. Hall has a chance one-on-one with the keeper, but Hughes comes out to claim it. Columbia goes quickly. They have plenty of numbers on this right side. Gilmore overlapping with Hines. Over to Gilmore, and was going to be flicked out of bounds for a Columbia throw. Gilmore was looking to go quickly, but he will settle down and look for a open blue.
And I really like the top end here for Chris Miller and Columbia. This attack here from Hines and Saralia and Morpurgo up at the top just seems to really bond together and work really well. Obviously, as we've seen, the amount of chances that they've had already, 5 different shots on goal in the first 5 minutes.
Good ball in. Gaza Miller, can he get to it? He can, and shields off Adian. It should be a goal kick as Gaza Miller was not able to get a touch on it, and smartly.
Goal kick, Columbia, sponsored by Ramtech.
Smart play from Gaza Miller as he will go down and holding that left leg. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's just a cramp because of the heat.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a cramp the way he's trying to stretch out that left leg, but you can never tell from this distance.
I don't want to jinx it like Tony Romo did a couple years ago on Dak Prescott, but nonetheless, he did go down. Hopefully it is just a cramp.
Athletic trainer is out on the field, but Julian, despite that, I mean, what a thunderous first 5 minutes in this second half. What has really been the cause?
I don't understand how neither team has put the ball in the back of the net. This has been a very offensive game. Columbia has had 2 shots hit off the woodwork and another goal line clearance as well, all in the same 2 minutes, it seemed like. Morpurgo has been cooking down this left flank for Coach Miller. Gaza Miller getting attended to. He looks to be okay, getting back up, and he will exit the field.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a cramp the way he's walking stiffly on it. Most of the time when you have your legs straight and kind of putting pressure on it is an indication of a cramp, but it will be Anthony Lint coming into the game, who we saw come in the middle of that first half.
Number 29, Anthony Lint, substitution.
Lint actually started the game for Columbia.
Some news from the Gateway North Division. Lenoma, is beating Sesa 6-0. So a rout between the top 2 in the North Division. Lenoma is sitting at 7 total points. And in the North Division, they do play by points per game due to not having an even amount of teams. And it looks like their goal differential is going to be even higher now. Already had a +10. Now you're looking at a +16, pretty much securing a spot in the Gateway Conference Championship game as long as they continue to play some good ball up there. Throw in for the Blues is cut out by St. Louis. Hall trying to flick it forward to Juan. He does. Good 1-2. Redford there to clear it away. And can the Blues retain possession here with Davidovic? Good ball out to Morpurgo. Here come the Blues yet again with numbers. Morpurgo working on his left foot, cutting inside to Saralia. Saralia not able to shield the defender, though. And here comes St. Louis with Adian to Juan. Ball played over, wide open is Radalifa, but cleared away by Hughes at the last second. The sweeper keeper coming out and doing his job. Saralia playing a ball from his back. Still in the air. Hines pressuring. Ball out on the left flank. Stayed in play. Actually, no, did go out of bounds. Last touched by Fish over there on the left side.
Julian, you cannot ask for a crazier first 10 minutes to a half. I mean, so many chances for both of these sides. That one was played right in to the feet of Radalifa. But Toby Hughes coming out of net as he should. He was a little bit hesitant at the start because he didn't know how hard the ball was hit. But after he saw it went a little too far in front of Radalifa, he was able to come up and poke it away. And then that faulty out of bounds kick is Gilmore's going to touch that one. And
Gilmore on this right flank for the Blues gets deflected, and it will be a corner first of the half for the Blues in the 55th minute.
Sponsored by Huffman Insurance.
First goal we see of the match. Might have to go crazy, as I don't know how the ball has not entered the back of the net for either side. It will be Gonzalez to take. In swinging corner at the back post, flicked on, Morpurgo on it. Not the best shooting angle. Shot from Dervizovic gets deflected, and here comes St. Louis with Adion and numbers to work with as Juan was doing an overlap over to Radalifa now. Radalifa wide open is Adion, but deflected by Lamidi and flicked over by Lintz. Columbia retains possession. Nice touch there by Morpurgo to find Lamidi. And he finds Morpurgo back again. Saralia still on the ball of Saralia after he gets fouled. Advantage called from the referee. Morpurgo trying to work on Radalifa. Ball played in to Hines. Hines has Gonzalez open. He finds him. Gonzalez working on two defenders now. Finds Redford in the middle of the field. Redford looking for a cross in. Back stick. It's Paul Morpurgo over his head. He's able to keep it in play. Crossing opportunity here on his right foot. Good cross in, but met by a St. Louis defender and finally cleared away. Only to the feet of Lamidi, who works it back to Morpurgo. Lamidi overlapping, asking for it. He gets it. Lamidi cross in for Saralia. Ball flicked on, looking for Hines. Hines will get it out to Gilmore. Nice header there from Gilmore into the box now, but it's going to find the hands of the safe McLaughlin. But I think the referee's going to call it back for a foul. I don't think they're actually called a foul. I think Gonzalez just went down. But he's right back up. Might have just been like a heat exhaustion cramp.
yeah, we saw something like that happen in the first half with Ludwig after a long bended attack. He just kind of laid down on his back and just looked up at the sun. Sometimes that's all you can do when you're so exhausted outside, and it's about 95 degrees out here in Columbia.
Hottest it's been all year on this Saturday evening. Last home game for Columbia decides to be the hottest one, as we are pretty close to the month of July. This one's going to be kicked all the way on the AFC side, and it's going to be out for a throw-in. Not the best position here for the Blues, as St. Louis can pressure. And Gilmore will just clear it away smartly. Played back into the air. Collision in the middle. Nice play there by Dervizovic to gain possession. Can Columbia counter here? Trying to find Morpurgo. Nice play there by Keener. Over on the right. Ball into the box. Gets cut out. And it will be a corner kick. I believe that was Ben Fish, actually, for St. Louis.
It's actually going to be a throw-in.
Goes out for a throw-in as it barely stayed, or not barely, it took a different deflection than I thought it did. Here comes St. Louis with the ball. Nice ball into Adion. Shooting opportunity here for Juan. Juan looking for a pass, but it is going to trickle out of bounds. Not the best first touch there from Pablo Juan. It'll be a goal kick for the Blues.
I was going to say a goal here for the Stars would be absolutely detrimental to Columbia, as they've had more than half the chances here in this game. They've controlled possession. They've been dominant in the lower third. So for them to let up a goal at this stage of the game would just kind of be a morale loser.
It'd be absolutely detrimental, as you just mentioned, if Columbia does end up dropping points here with how they have outplayed this St. Louis side. Good ball in to Radalifa. Radalifa with options, trying to find Adion. It's only back to Juan after the deflection. This time to Adion. Adion onto his left foot. The shot! It's off the posts! But he was offside. The Blues catch a break there.
Wow. I mean, another shot going off the woodwork, even though that would have been called offside regardless. It seems like neither of these teams want to hit the back of the net in this 60th minute. I mean, once again, Julian, just a crazy start to the second half. And the first 15 minutes of the second half have been like lightning in a bottle, just waiting to break open, as both of these teams have gotten, I think, 3 or 4 shots each on the goal so far.
Over with Hines on the right side. Into the middle. Nice turn there from Saralia. Saralia able to keep possession. Finds Redford. Over to Morpurgo. Morpurgo in the box on his left foot. The shot actually more looked like a ball into the box.
Wow.
Not the best clearance. And Saralia was right there, but he was not expecting the ball to be at his feet like that. And McLaughlin ends up coming up with it.
And if you're Chris Miller, you have to keep Paul Morpurgo in here. He's been that centerpiece at the top for Columbia that has really just set everything through this left near side. I mean, every single attack seems like it's going through Paul Morpurgo. Everything's been played out them, and he's just been putting Brendan Owen on a highlight tape so far.
Radalifa gets past Morpurgo. Going down this right side. Juan trying to play a back heel back to Radalifa, but Lint is there to play it back and clear it. Nice ball into Redford. Now over to Lamidi on this left flank. Lamidi looking for options. It's a good ball in to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for a first-time finish. Could not find it. He had plenty of time to take a touch and try to finish.
Goal kick, St. Louis.
And it will be a goal kick for the Stars. What a play there between Lamidi and Gonzalez. But Gonzalez, looking for a first-time finish, could not put it in the back of the net.
And I think a little bit of that had to do with he is a lefty. So the ball coming from his left side, he had to get a one-timer on it, or else he probably wouldn't have been able to shoot it.
He probably could have taken a touch on his left foot.
Yeah, he could. He probably could have taken a touch on his left foot and bounced it out and then shot it far side, but tried to get a one-timer on there and unsuccessful as it ricocheted off the right side of his foot.
Over with Gilmore, the captain for this game, trying to find the wide open Hines, but it's going to trickle all the way back to McLaughlin after a pretty nice piece of defending there by Owen. Or, sorry, that looks like it's Lavery, should I say. Ball into the middle now. Good pressure by the Blues. Forces an errant pass. Can the Blues capitalize here? It's Saralia. Saralia with options. He turns back right and cannot keep the ball. Nice piece of defending there by Carson Nolan, dropping back from his midfield role. Deflected. Can Gilmore keep it in play? He can. Nice piece of defending there by Gilmore. Nice effort showing as well. Ball into the middle for Dervizovic. He'll try to tap it back for Lamidi. Turns it over with Radalifa playing it over to Adion. Adion on it. He'll play it back over into the box. It's Hall. Hall, the shots hits the side netting, and it will be a corner kick. Last deflected off of the feet of Smith, I believe.
Corner kick, St. Louis, sponsored by Huffman Insurance.
First corner of the half for St. Louis as we are creeping up on the 20-minute mark of this second half. Should have a water break here in about 5 to 6 minutes.
It will be Radalifa to take this one into the box. It'll be deflected out by Travis Smith and onto the head of Gilmore and deflected away once again. Good stop in the box there for Columbia.
St. Louis in possession. They chose to reset after that corner. Still have plenty of numbers up. Ball played all the way back to McLaughlin, who is way out of his goal. If the Blues can send some pressure here, it would be pretty interesting. Nice back heel there from Juan, and a foul called on Smith. They got a little bit too aggressive with the attacker Fisher.
And what you start to see when a lot of these players are overheating is some errant mistakes. I mean, just things like receiving the ball and playing the ball are a lot harder when you have sweat dripping down into your eyes and you're playing in 95-degree heat, as Morpurgo is going to steal that one away.
Nice defending there from Morpurgo, the attacker. He's open, wide open,
Wow.
and he is flagged offside. We had a perfect angle, a perfect viewpoint on that one. Didn't look like he was offside to my eye, but the sideline official did end up calling him off. Ball played back to McLaughlin. Nice touch over there to Hall. Blake Hall finds a wide open attacker. Back to Hall. Finds an open Fisher in the middle. Good ball into the middle for Audion. Audion down that flank now. Looking for a pass into the middle for Juan. Can Gonzalez keep it in? He cannot. It will be a throw-in for the Stars. That one's going to be out of bounds for a AFC Columbia throw-in. Gilmore will take it. Throwing it into Gonzalez. Back to Gilmore. Gilmore looking to play it long, but Juan was able to get there and intercept it. Here's Drvizovic after a nice tackle from Smith. Trying to find Morpurgo. Gets cut away. Nice play here into the box. Morpurgo able to win it back for the Blues and kick it out for a throw-in. Very smart play there from Morpurgo, conceding the throw instead of the corner. That was a great play there by Ben Fish.
Yeah, Morpurgo, he got back to that one and eventually kicked it out of bounds, but now at the expense of his health, as he seems very tired and winded over there on that near side.
Looks to be okay, as AFC Columbia will need him for the rest of this game. He's definitely been the X factor for the Blues. Into the box, deflected away. Trying to clear it is Lamidi. Lamidi's still on the ball. Finds Morpurgo. Morpurgo able to find find a wide open Hines. Hines with options to play it. Plays it to Gilmore. Gilmore with plenty of space. Plenty of space and plenty of numbers. He could switch it. It's a 3-on-3. Nice touch inside, and a very, very, very aggressive foul there. Will be a yellow card issued to, I believe, Ludwig.
Yeah, it is going to be Ludwig, and he tried to slow down the attack there, but it was a little too strong of a challenge. An immediate yellow card coming from the middle referee.
Could have easily been a goal-scoring opportunity for the Blues, as they had a 3-on-2 since Gilmore was able to get past Ludwig, with Drvizovic all the way on his left, and a wide open Hines up through the middle. Will be a dangerous free kick with Gilmore and Redford standing over it.
St. Louis, a caution issued to number 57, Schrader Ludwig.
3 in the box for the Blues. 4 in the box now for the Blues.
For St. Louis, a caution issued to number 57, Schrader Ludwig. There it is. Yep, no, you're right. It did not go. The second one did.
Confusion on the field, and we will resume play here on this free kick. It will be Redford. He will take it to the back post. It's a good one. Morpurgo onto it. He's able to get a head on it, but it will trickle out of bounds. Last touched by Paul Morpurgo. Very nice ball into the box by Redford to the back stick. but unluckily the Blues are not able to make anything of it.
And I'm seeing a lot of hands on hips here for both sides, as both sides have very tired legs. I believe there will be some substitutions coming on sooner than later.
St. Louis did play last night. This is game 2 of their back-to-back. Should not be a foul as Lynn able to out-muscle Adion. Plays it to Smith in the middle of the field now with options. Gilmore on the ball. Looking for Hines. He does find him. Hines in the middle of the field. The dangerous Hines. Ball over into the middle, trying to find a running Gonzalez or Morpurgo. Morpurgo was offside. Not too sure if Gonzalez was offside or not.
Yeah, Ben Fish just pulled the rug out from under him there and started jogging up the field, and Morpurgo wasn't ready. He knew he was offside the whole way. That's why he didn't run for it. That's going to find the feet of Redford up to
Turnover
Dervizovic.
For St. Louis. Columbia in a dangerous spot. Dervizovic on the ball. Has options in the middle with Redford. Back to Dervizovic. Plays it over to Gilmore. Nice bit of passing here for Columbia. Gilmore working it up the pitch. Back to Dervizovic. In the middle of the field for the Blues. Good ball in. Wide open. Ball into the box now. Back stick. Morpurgo attempts a bicycle kick. Would have been the best goal I've ever seen in my life if he wasn't able to make contact, but he completely whiffs. And it does go out of bounds for a St. Louis throw.
Yeah, Paul Morpurgo. I mean, what can you say about him in this first 20 minutes of this half, Julian? I mean, he's created every single chance for this AFC Columbia team. Every single ball in from Cirali and Dervizovic has come to him, and he's been able to play it into the box or get shots off, always passing. I mean, he's put Ben Fish on a highlight reel. I mean, this guy has gotten past him almost every time, and it's just been exceptional, but there's really nothing to show for it because you don't have a goal on the score sheet.
Yeah, Paul Morpurgo has definitely been the best player on the pitch for the Blues, especially in this second half. He's been completely dominant, and this hydration break is crucial, especially for everyone that has played all of these minutes for both sides. But you're especially looking at Paul Morpurgo. He didn't come off a single time in the first half and still has not come off here in the 70th minute. It's been a really, really, really good game. If you're just tuning in, we have a scoreless tie in the 71st minute. Columbia has been dominant offensively, but the Stars have also had their own chances of their own. I still have no idea how there has not been a goal put in the back of the net. We've seen the ball hit the woodwork 3 different times. We've seen a couple goal line clearances for the Stars.
I mean, we're talking about Columbia's chances, but this other side in the Stars has gotten so many chances as well. I mean, Adion, the main person who has gotten those chances, he hit one off the post. It was called offside, but a couple chances for both sides. Obviously more coming from Columbia's way. And that goal line clearance at the start of the first half looking more and more detrimental as every minute passes, as Columbia was not able to get on the board early and now are having to fight. In the latter 20 minutes of this one, there should be very tired legs going into this 80th and 90th minute, as we will probably see a lot more substitutions coming from Chris Miller and the Stars.
Absolutely. This would be an absolutely heartbreaking loss for either side, as both sides have been able to put up some really impressive offensive performances, however, not been able to break the ice and put it in the back of the net. Especially for the Blues of AFC Columbia, they have been completely dominant. If they're not able to come away with at least 1 point, I mean, I would even say 1 point would be heartbreaking. But if they are not able to come away with any points, it would be heartbreaking, especially in their last home game of the season.
And for the amount of shots on goal, Mick McLaughlin has really not had to deal with much. I mean, he hasn't really been tested in the net. It's just been a lot of off the post and stops by his defenders. So we really haven't gotten to see a lot of McLaughlin's ability in the net, along with Toby Hughes. Toby Hughes really hasn't had to save anything. So both of these goalkeepers kept pretty clean for the most part. It's just bad shot placement.
Redford will take this throw in after it was touched last by a Star. Over to Smith. Ball played with Gilmore now on the right. He'll switch it over to Redford, who has been involved in every single attacking play almost. Redford gets past Morpurgo trying to find the run of Lamidi. Nice defending there by Redford to force a turnover. Lamidi will be the one to intercept it in the end. Back to Redford. Redford back to Lamidi. Lamidi able to win the 50-50. Lamidi on the ball, one-on-one with his defender. Lamidi cuts inside, wide open. Ball played into the box, trying to find Morpurgo. Gets cut out, only to the feet of Dervizovic. Dervizovic will handle it. Back to Redford. He'll find Dervizovic again, looking for options. He finds Morpurgo. Over to Lamidi. Lamidi and Morpurgo working this two-man game on this left flank, as we've seen all of the second half. What a move by Morpurgo. He's getting his shirt tugged. No call. Gets past his defenders again. Morpurgo is completely dominating and running circles around the St. Louis Stars defense. His cross in was deflected, but I have no idea how Morpurgo was able to fight through all of that contact, through multiple fouls, and able to work across into the box.
Yeah, and Ben Fish is just shrugging his shoulders like, what am I supposed to do back here? On countless occasions, Morpurgo has been able to 1-2 move and get right by him. That time combining with the likes of Dervizovic and Lamidi, but this triangle over here on the near side has been doing a lot of work and created a lot of chances for this Columbia side so far.
Ball played in the middle. Redford able to intercept it. Clean play into the middle for Gonzalez. Gonzalez on his left foot. In to Hines. Hines wide open. And what a tackle. Was not a penalty. It was a very clean tackle there by Lavery as he's able to knock it out of bounds. Hines wanted to get it back onto his right foot. And he is down. Hopefully just a cramp. He is getting stretched out by his teammate, Miguel Gonzalez.
And if you're Hines there, I would have just tried to rip it with my left foot because, boy, oh boy, do they need a shot on goal right now. It's been so many chances in the box, but just no shots on goal at this point. And the first little bit of the second half, they actually got some shots on goal, but it's been pretty stagnant shot-wise. They have held possession in this lower third for a while, but tried to get back to his right foot and eventually tackled away.
Corner kick for AFC Columbia.
Corner kick Columbia, sponsored by Huffman Insurance.
Will be taken to the top, and an offensive foul on Travis Smith got way too physical with the defender there.
Very unfortunate for Columbia. That was about to be kicked in, and Travis Smith just went over the back of Ludwig and knocked him over.
Especially with Redford on the ball, they played it long to Redford at the top of the key yet again, where he unleashed a rocket of a shot in the first half. He was definitely going to be doing it again on that possession.
Coming on for Stars, number 10, Pablo Juan, and number 57, Schrader Ludwig.
Couple of subs.
Sponsored by 988.
Couple of subs for the Stars, Ludwig and Juan coming back onto the pitch. Juan has been involved with pretty much every offensive play. This ball's kicked over to Radalifa into the middle. Nice tackle there by Dervizovic, a clean tackle, and it will be lastly touched by Dervizovic on that slide. Will be a throw-in for St. Louis.
Despite the heat, Columbia is playing very aggressive, Julian. I mean, you see them first to every ball, and they just seem to want it more, especially in this lower third. I mean, you've seen Dervizovic on a couple of occasions, Morpurgo, Gonzalez, Redford, all using their body and diving on the ground if they need to.
3 subs for the Blues. Lake got Samuel Apia and Diego Umana, the dangerous Umana. We saw him against Boff St. Louis a couple of days ago. Had a really nice game in that 2-1 defeat. Seems like whenever he came in, the game completely changed for the Blues.
Yeah, Numano has that ability and that speed at the top end to just really blow by the defense, and a tired defense that is for the Stars. So,
and a fresh Diego Umana. This could spell trouble for St. Louis as we are just under the 80th minute. Goal kick taken quickly. Dangerous pass back to Hughes. Smith will play it over to Gilmore. Gilmore with plenty of space and options. Ball over the top. Trying to find Gott. It does find Gott. Gott, 3-on-1 for the Blues. Ball back in the middle for Umana. Umana tries a shot, and he whiffs, but it will go out of bounds for another AFC Columbia throw. Umana had it on his right foot and was not able to connect with it. He had plenty of options behind him as well, as a streaking Redford really wanted that one.
and this is what I say when I mean Chris Miller knows exactly what he's doing. The top three at the top for Columbia all getting substituted. As you see Gilmore getting some water over there on the sideline.
That is hilarious. Gilmore walking up to the fountain, the water fountain over there by our concession stands, getting some water.
Late got Appia and Umana all coming in, the top three for Columbia.
Long throw in for Gilmore. Flicked on. It's shot by Gott. Might have been deflected. Gilmore still on it as it stays in play. It will stay in play with Gilmore. Gilmore will work it back to Dervizovic. Dervizovic with plenty of options. Had Redford behind him. Ball into the box. Finding Umana yet again. Umana, the shots right at the keeper, McLaughlin. It might have hit his hand anyway, but nonetheless, there was no call from the keeper. An errant throw-in from the keeper, McLaughlin, as Appia gets to it. Appia trying to find a streaking Lamidi, but it gets cleared out of bounds. I still don't know how AFC Columbia has not been able to get on the board here. Couple of subs for St. Louis as Radalifa, and it looks like Hall will also step off.
And I'm not going to be surprised if a goal comes in the next 10 minutes for Columbia. All these fresh new faces on the top end for Columbia and a bunch of tired faces on the back end for the Stars could spell trouble for them in this latter minutes. Keener coming back on, who we saw start the game for the Stars. So a change at the back right as Columbia makes changes at the top.
Ball played with St. Louis all the way back, and a foul on Appia. Little bit of contact there on the back. Free kick for the Stars here in their own third. Ball will be played over on the left with Owen. Owen will try to flick it over to the new attacker. Dangerous collision there, as it will be a foul on Umana. He got a little bit too physical with Ludwig, as we have reached the 82nd minute of play. 8 minutes plus some stoppage time. Long free kick taken, dangerous. Gilmore is there. The shot is saved. Good save. Rebound shot cleared by Smith. The most dangerous we've seen the Stars be in this half. Juan still on the ball. Danger not averted yet. Here comes St. Louis. Ball into the middle. Onside, and will be called offside in the end. We do see a ball in the back of the net, but nonetheless, it will be flagged for offside.
And the last thing you want to do if you're the defense for Columbia is let up a goal, as your attackers have been striving at a goal all game long. And like I said before, that would just be detrimental for this Columbia team. I don't know how you would bounce back from something like that. If you were, I mean, just all second half, it's been in the side of St. Louis. And one long ball in, and they almost scored on one single attack. So
Parker Murphy in for the Blues in the 83rd minute now. Travis Smith standing over this free kick. Smith will take it short to Gilmore. Being pressured, finds Dervizovic. Dervizovic with options. He'll take it himself, and that is a dangerous tackle from Juan from the back. It will be a yellow card issued to the number 10 for the St. Louis Stars. Dangerous free kick
Caution issued
for
at
the Blues.
St. Louis, number 10,
We'll see if they
Pablo
take it short or if they take it long.
Juan. Juan.
That's another one of those things where you take the foul for your team so a counterattack does not strike you.
Here comes Dervizovic down the line for Gilmore. Gilmore able to get onto it. Crossing opportunity here for the Blues. He will cross it at the back post. It's a dangerous one. And there is Apia, and it's scored. It's in. What a goal for AFC Columbia finally. But a collision between the two, and a player is down. Nonetheless, it's 1-0 for the Blues.
And I believe it was actually Umana who got his head on that. Apia streaking in from the left side, but Umana, the original header coming from him, it looked like it actually bounced off both heads, but Umana is still down, and they will need an athletic trainer. Thankfully, Apia is okay, but Umana still down on the ground. Nonetheless, though, Columbia in the 85th minute.
Did they give the goal? I mean, the goalkeeper still has the ball. I hope they gave the goal because that was a clean goal. Nobody was offside or anything.
Referees are having a talk on the far corner.
It went in the net. It definitely went in the net. It has to be a goal. I don't know what they're discussing. The goalkeeper has the ball in his hand, and they're setting up like it's going to be a goal kick. But that ball clearly went in the back of the net.
And I don't know if that ball was from Lake Gott or Gilmore.
It was Gilmore in the corner.
What a ball that was. I mean, right over the head. It was very fortunate for Columbia that McLaughlin was sitting at that front post because it went all the way to the back post, and it was a high-flying ball as well. So it just went right over every single Star defender and onto the head of Umana, as Umana is still getting checked out. Referees are now back in. It surely is a goal as they're still attending to him.
It has to be a goal. I mean, the ball went in the back of the net. I don't know what we're debating here. There was no offside or anything.
We will give you a replay shortly. And here was the play. As you can see, the ball clearly go back into the net. So was Umana the one to get that goal?
Yes.
And just as I mentioned previously, Umana can be the one to spark this team to their first goal, and he absolutely was the one to do it, him and Apia combining.
They're not awarding the goal?
Coming on for Columbia, number 22, Ian Vizcarra-Mendez.
They're not awarding the goal. The keeper still has the ball, and they're not awarding the goal. I am in disbelief. How, where did the goal not count? It's a goal kick for the Stars. Played with Redford.
I believe the goal did count, but since there was a foul in the box,
there was no foul. Apia and Umana ran into each other. Nonetheless, no goal for St. Louis as Columbia still looking to get the ball in the back of the net. As we reset, ball whipped in. It's a good one at the box. Saralia was there, and he was not able to finish it. It goes wide.
Nadim Saralia with a header for a goal. Just in disbelief, shaking his head as he missed it a little too far to the left. Another chance, a header opportunity for Columbia.
Louis, wide open down the line. Open down the line, in the middle, wide open, but finally cut away by Lintz. Lint able to recover. A streaking attacker wide open in the box was Romani. He was square with the goal.
This
Gonna
may
go
be
out for a corner.
This may be the craziest game I've ever broadcasted.
This is the most hectic 0-0 game I've ever seen in my life. Ball by the byline, into the box now for the Stars. Able to keep it in bounds, in the box, bouncing around, and finally cleared away. Dangerous. It actually did end up crossing the byline, I believe. That's why everyone was sort of just standing there. And it did go off for a goal kick. 89th minute now, still tied at 0.
And Columbia has got to move frantically if they want to put one in the back of the net in this latter probably 3 minutes in some change because of that head injury to Umana.
Radford, dangerous ball between Hughes and Smith. Hughes will just clear it right to the St. Louis defense. Here comes St. Louis on the counter. Nice defense there by the Blues, and that surely is a foul. It will be a foul. And the Blues will have a free kick here in the 89th minute. Looking to go quickly. Good long ball in, over the head. And not over the head, actually. A nice piece of defending there. Here come the Blues down the right side. It's Gott on the ball. Finds Dervizovic behind him. Dervizovic with options. He'll take it himself. Plays it to Lint. Lint out wide for Morpurgo. Not Morpurgo. Nice play from Vizcarra. Into the box. The shot on goal is saved. Vizcarra Mendez had a chance there.
Five minutes of added time here.
Hectic game. St. Louis looking to steal 3 points on the road.
There will be a minimum of 5 minutes.
This ball's gonna go out of bounds for a Stars throw-in.
St. Louis looking extremely tired on the back end. It's only a matter of time for another opportunity for Columbia, but they're still going to be playing out of the back as Apia chases this one down. McLaughlin having to get that one out fast and over to Fish.
Fish, plenty of space. Ball played over everybody. It's a 4-on-1 if they're able to do it correctly. Ball whipped in. The shot is in. It's a goal for the Stars. An absolutely heartbreaking finish to this one. And St. Louis takes the lead here in the 91st minute.
An absolute change of events and heartbreaking for Columbia as they've dominated 95% of the time in this one, but one through ball played by Fish up the field is going to result in a goal for this Stars team. They made the most of their chance, and they proved that they should be up 1-0 here. So many missed chances from Columbia. I don't know how that goal didn't count a couple minutes ago.
I still don't know how that goal hasn't counted in the 86th minute, scored by Umana, who had to be subbed off due to injury on that finish. But the Blues have to settle in here with 4 minutes to play. They got to go quick if they want to salvage anything here in their last home match of the season. It's with Gott. Gott plays it into Murphy. St. Louis in all-out defending here. Murphy gets past one. Passes it into Dervizovic. Back to Murphy. Wide open is Saralia. In the middle of the field. Saralia with options. He plays it for Apia. Apia finds Vizcarra Mendez again. Vizcarra Mendez cuts inside. Back to Lint. Lint looking for a ball in. Plays it in. Wide open is Redford. Redford heads it trying to find Murphy. Still up in the air. Gilmore will come down with it. And a foul called. On St. Louis.
Yeah, foul by Ferguson. The one striker is going to get a yellow for kicking that one away once again. He originally got the foul for stopping possession from Saralia, but this one's surely going to be played in by the steady-footed Redford, who's had a couple good crosses into the box. So I'm looking for the big Travis Smith here or Murphy to get their head on this one. Columbia is putting all out into the box. The only players not in the box is Gilmore and Dervizovic. Surprised Dervizovic is not in the box.
6 in the box. It's a good ball played in for Murphy. Still in the air. Finally gets cleared away. Only to the feet of Gilmore. Gilmore flicks it over to Gott. Gott, the cross, and it's a low-driven cross. Still in the air. Apia on it. Apia on his left foot. The shot skies over the bar, and it will be a goal kick, a sigh of relief for the Stars here in the 93rd minute as the ball was trickling in the box and no Blue was able to get on the end of that one.
And Samuel Apia had a really nice shot at that one, but it just went 1 foot over the crossbar. It seems like they're just itching for the back of the net, but they just can't seem to scratch it.
Ball won by Redford on the goal kick. Gilmore will be on it. A minute to play here from Columbia College. Ball played out wide. Still in possession with the Blues. Advantage played. Good tackle And that's they're going to call back the foul. It's going to be a yellow for Landon Keener.
And there should be a couple more minutes of extra time here, probably like 3 more because of that goal.
For St. Louis, caution issue.
And then some of these fouls, so.
Free kick for the Blues, sending everyone up here. Jester Vizovic and Soralia, who looks like he's walking towards the area. Looks like it is going to be taken by Redford. He has Gilmore with him to take a short, but it will be Redford in the end. He plays it to Dervizovic. Dervizovic at the top of the box. Ball flicked in, headed away. Dervizovic back into the mix. A missed clearance. They do clear it away in the end. Only the Hughes. Last kicks of the game. Last kicks of this home season. It's a good ball over into the mix for Vizcarra Mendez. Flicks it on to Travis Smith, who finds himself in the corner. Ball in. Will be played away.
This probably will be the last opportunity. It will be Dervizovic to throw it in.
Dervizovic throws it into Vizcarra Mendez quickly. Into the mix over the head of Murphy. Murphy is able to get a hit on it in the end. Cleared away in the air. Gilmore wins the header back into the mix. Cleared a mile high, and that probably will go out of bounds. And that will do it. The St. Louis Stars, after being outplayed the whole game, get a goal in the 93rd minute to steal 3 points here from the Blues in their final game at home of the season. What a game here from Columbia College. Logan, what are your final thoughts on this one?
Despite all of the chances for Columbia, again, they get defeated at home. This was the same story against Boff St. Louis just a few days ago. I felt like they outplayed them the entire game against Boff St. Louis, but in the end, the scorecard said 2-0, and they were defeated. This time, a little bit of the same. Obviously, this game was completely different. It felt like Columbia had 95% of the chances, and the one time that the Stars were able to get something into the box, they put it away past Toby Hughes. Very unfortunate for Chris Miller and this team in their last showing at home this season.
A very unfortunate way for things to end at home for AFC Columbia. Their last couple games, they looked really good, but unable to put one in the back of the net. We did see a ball go into the back of the net for the Blues, but the goal was called back. Not too sure what the call was by the referees, but a very controversial call nonetheless. But in the end, the St. Louis Stars do come into Columbia and steal 3 points away from the Blues in their final home match of the season. I've been Julian Munoz alongside my partner, Logan Parsons. Thank you all for tuning in the entire season, and we wish you all a good rest of your evening. Don't forget, Missouri Reign versus Peoria City coming up here in 45 minutes. We'll see you there.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy